Kia ora e te iwi and welcome to The Chew. Coming at you from the studio here in Kaumuriwai, Arrowtown. Ko Arrowtown Dad tēnei. And today we're chewing the fat with Mike Cook, aka Mikey Found. Kia ora, Mikey.
Hey bro, how are you?
Good mate, good. So yeah, I'll just get you to introduce yourself, bro, and then I'll just start firing some questions your way.
Cool, bro. Mike Cook, that's who I am, and all Mikey Found is my handle on TikTok and TikTok. Or do I tick? I'm older generation, so I need to get this wrong every now and again.
Nice one. And so, where were you born?
Born in Wanganui, back in '77.
The river.
Yeah, the river. I say Wanganui because that's, that's what it was.
That's
when
how
I was,
you said it back then?
Yeah. But obviously, full respect, it's Whanganui. So,
sweet as.
Yeah.
So you did all your schooling there?
No, we moved to, family moved to Invercargill. Would have been when I was about 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so been in Invercargill, really. That's where we grew up, schooled right through to, sort of started secondary school, moved to a small town, sort of Riverton.
Yeah.
Finished off secondary school and then took on the world at about 16.
Cool.
Out of there like Flynn.
So did you say you were schooled in Riverton, or you spent part of your childhood in Riverton?
Yeah, it was the tail end of childhood in Riverton.
Okay.
So the bulk of childhood was growing up in South Invercargill. Many of us will know it, so yeah.
So what was it like growing up as a young lad in Invercargill back then?
Yeah, look, it was, but you'd sort of say it was more sort of 80s Invercargill, so, 84 floods, I don't know if you remember 84 floods in Invercargill. They wiped out Invercargill pretty much.
Really?
Well, the main areas, CBT, I think, CBD was one of the main areas hit, so it was just I guess it was one of those towns that was trying to grow like every other town in New Zealand, but it just got left behind. Somewhat.
So Invercargill's got a bit of a bad name, right? People kind of bag it.
Does it?
It does in the North Island, trust me.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know.
No, I know. It is what it is.
But was that the case back then when you were growing up?
It was just a stagnant town. It was like the town that was dying, I think, has always been its sort of tag it's had. And then I think they called her Eve Poole. It was the mayoress when I was growing up. And then Sir Tim took over. Well, he was Tim Shadbolt at that stage.
Tim Shadbolt.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of, you can't deny things got better, slowly.
Under his leadership?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they both did their job and had their day, and you look around now, it's not a bad place to be.
I rate it.
There's worse to be.
I rate it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think it gets a bad rap.
It does.
I've lived, pretty much in the North Island my whole life, and I've only recently moved down this part of the South Island. I lived in Christchurch for a little bit, but when I lived there, Invercargill got bagged. It's different when you're down here and you get to spend time there. It doesn't deserve the bad rap it gets anyway.
It doesn't, and I guess it depends what you're into too. If you want nightlife and beaches, well, don't come to Invercargill. Well, there's a little bit of nightlife, but
actually the beaches are wicked, man.
And I'll redo that. It depends what you're into.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you want to bathe. On fine sands and blue skies.
Yeah, if you're looking for Baywatch beaches, that's the wrong place.
Not gonna find it. But if you want, like rugged coastline and just
good
fishing, cool spots,
good diving.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all around that coastline.
Yeah, love it down there.
Yeah.
So you went to, I'm going to guess, Southland Boys?
No, Verdon College.
Oh,
is a Catholic.
And is that in Invercargill as well?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Out the end of Invercargill, as you're heading out towards Dunedin, around that area. So yeah, Verdon College. I was only there for a year. Did my third form year at Verdon, and then that's when we moved to Riverton.
Oh, right. So does Riverton obviously has a high school? Is it like an area school where does all levels.
No, it's full. This Riverton has a primary and secondary school.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what their rules are like now, but I'd say like most other schools, they've probably ballooned out of control. But
And how was that? Like, given you did third form in Invercargill, did you find much of a difference between going to high school and Riverton versus Invercargill?
Oh, huge. Yeah. Like it was, like city school
chilled
versus country sort of
right.
school. So, there's a whole new hierarchy to understand.
Yeah, right.
It's a different world. I hated it personally.
Yeah.
I didn't gel with school, but wasn't my cup of tea. But definitely remember the differences between your city school versus your small sort of country sort of high
schools.
school, where it's all about sport, right? It's all about rugby.
Yeah.
Whereas I was a musician.
Ah, right.
So it didn't work.
Yeah. Did you have like a music option at high school back then?
No, not at Aparima, I don't believe.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. Not at that day. No.
So when you finished high school, did you get the hell out of Southland Dodge as soon as you could, or did you hang around?
I hung around for not too long. Sort of legged it to Invercargill and picked up one or two jobs down there, but eventually, got in the car and drove to Nelson and did fruit picking for a season, and did a year at Telley's Fisheries actually.
Oh wow!
And then I don't even know how long I was there, but got in the car after that and drove to Auckland and had some time in Auckland. So that was probably around my late teens. Definitely very late teens into my sort of 20s, I guess.
Yeah. So did you ever feel settled in that whole that stage, or were you kind of, let's say, you were still trying to find yourself or find where you wanted to end up?
Yeah, I think it was just that that exploring sort of, like some would go and do an OE, right? I went around New Zealand. I just tripped around and, ended up in Nelson and ended up in Auckland and made it all the way back down to Riverton and back there again. But it took a couple of 3 years, but it was a great wee time away.
And so you were doing, I think you said fruit picking up in Nelson.
Yeah.
What did you do when you got to Auckland?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. That was probably my my bum year.
Nice.
I was great.
But why Auckland then?
I don't know, it was just as far away from...
Yeah, big city, no one knows you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Get up to mischief. And
yeah, definitely a lot of that. Yeah, definitely. It was different times back there too, I think. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it now. Don't know, actually.
Yeah.
But
and so, what made you come back to Riverton? Family?
Yeah, probably was, to a degree, family, and then wanting to, I guess, settle down a little bit for that, I don't want to have kids or anything, but, at that stage. But it was, get a decent job and, have regular income.
Yeah.
And just a bit of slower pace of life, really. So,
and so did you realise that? Like, did you find a job that you were happy to sort of do those things?
No.
Okay.
No, just I've drifted through jobs for many years.
The drifter.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but I didn't feel I needed to be loyal or signed up for a lifetime. They weren't jobs that I guess required that level of commitment. They're sort of 1 to 2 year jobs.
And quite frankly, I don't think any job deserves that.
Not nowadays. Not unless you're remunerated for your efforts and your over and above investment.
I mean, you should always look out for number one, right? Regardless of how well you get looked after in a workplace.
Yeah.
So at some point, you landed, and we're probably talking along golf here, and feel free to fill in the gaps in between. But at some point, you landed here in the Arrowtown region.
Yeah. Fill in the gaps. Many years later.
Yeah.
Family, my wife, and just son at the time, Jack. We packed up and came to Arrowtown for a new life. I started in real estate back in 2006, I think, is when we moved here.
Real estate. Ooh.
Yeah, that was probably before it went off but then I guess it had already gone off,
Right.
and gone off before that.
Right.
It's just that's Queenstown, right?
It's always going off.
Well, there's gold in them there hills,
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's the mentality. So
Yeah,
let's
that
go
is
get
the
it.
mentality. Yeah,
So
trying to catch the wave.
yeah.
So where'd you meet your wife? Is she a Southland girl?
She's a
as well?
Southland girl, yeah. So
Yeah.
just through connected circles, really.
I just called her a Southland girl.
Yeah, you rolled your R's.
I rolled my
I
R's.
try not to, however,
Yeah,
you know,
it comes out.
when in Rome,
Yeah, when in Rome.
it does. But the
Yeah,
more
cool.
I'm in Queenstown, actually, the R
Yeah.
definitely the R turns back into
R.
the R.
Yeah, the R.
short. And actually, when I lived here, because we lived here for 12, 13 years. People would always ask me what part of the UK am I from,
Really?
because that was just
That's what they thought. You had an
yeah.
accent.
Because Queenstown, and I have a habit for picking up parts of accents. I'm terrible for doing it.
Oh.
So I think I just had a train smash of accents,
sorts.
and
Yeah.
I wasn't
well.
from here nor there.
Oh, cool. Well, we have you talking like a bro in no time.
Oh, do it now. I'm just being polite and respectful to the listeners, to the viewing public.
And so what triggered the move to Arrowtown?
I think it was just fresh start. Like my
cool.
wife and I were probably married 6-7 years at that stage. So yeah, it was, for me, it was just like, I want a new start. I want to chase bigger things. And my wife's auntie owned a real estate firm, and I had a pretty soft entrance into the market, which was good. So took the leap and
Nice.
did it right. And yeah, like I say, we left 2016, 17. So
You left
Arrowtown.
Arrowtown.
Yeah, and that's where we left Arrowtown and moved to Gore.
Right.
See how I did that?
Because why not?
Why not? And look, Gore gets as much stick as
It
what
does. Gets a
Invercargill
lot of
did.
stick, yeah.
But again, we were, I guess we moved to Arrowtown for family.
Yeah.
We weren't ticking those boxes
Yeah.
for the family.
Yeah.
So the question was asked, well,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? We
Yeah,
can keep piling the money in on rent and trying to chase the mortgage dream, or
Yeah.
we can move somewhere, less expensive and have the best of both worlds, which, we've ticked that box,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's I mean,
so get out of my face, all right?
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, you've got to make the right move for the family. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a family move, and now what are we, 2024? Jack's been through the high school down in Gore, and Molly's and Charlie are currently going through the high school.
The high
there.
school thing.
Yeah, so good schools.
Yeah.
The town's changed.
For sure.
People need to move on from the centre plots and the 80s.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah, I know. I've actually got some old colleagues from years ago. They three of them. I was working with them in Australia, and they all came from Gore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, quite
Different.
Yeah, quite different to find three people so that I worked so closely with in Australia in a random office, and they all came from Gore. Man, the place isn't that big,
It's not, but hey, quality all in one room, eh?
yeah. And they were quality, to be fair.
Yeah. It's a good spot.
So I'm picking up from what you mentioned that the move from Arrowtown was to sort of try to get ahead on that, especially when it comes to the property thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously Queenstown, it was every last dollar goes into living.
Yeah.
And we wanted to sort of change that view.
Yeah.
So yeah, moved south and live in Gore, and
Yep.
kids are happy, we're happy, money's in the bank. We don't have a lot to worry about.
Nice. That's what you want.
Well, that's isn't that the Kiwi dream?
It is. It is a Kiwi dream.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really, because we get pressured into these things. But to be fair, I agree with the home ownership dream.
Totally.
I think everyone deserves to own their own home.
Yeah.
They need
agree.
I think everyone deserves a pathway to get that as well.
Yep.
So, I think you and we come from a generation where that was a bit easier. It's certainly harder for my children's generations to get on the property ladder. It's not something that as easily accessible for them as it was for us.
Agreed. I think it'll require a lot of lateral thinking.
Yeah.
And a lot of, a
lot of stealing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, what is it? National just took away the first time home buyer grant.
Fuck, they wind me up. But anyway, yeah, they just, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help, does it?
No, I mean just their whole attitude towards governing is it's based in the trickle down theory that has been proven never to work. But here we are with another government that just gives money to rich people with the promise that they'll trickle it down to the rest of us. Just
the one I was actually not that I want to talk too much on politics, but there was a piece in the paper about the girl who diagnosed with a form of cancer that's national.
They removed the funding for it.
Well, but what's the word? They when they're going through their process to get elected, they made promises.
Promises during the election process. Because they promised to buy all this cancer meds.
Elected based on these promises, and it's like,
I'm like, whoa,
not ideal.
Well, surprise, they're not living up to the promise.
Yeah, but doesn't that sound like the corporate job?
Yeah, well, yeah, totally. It's the way it works, right? Yeah. It's like we'll make promises to you, and then the very next year, it's like, you know what? We didn't make as much sales as we estimated. So sorry, but those bonuses aren't going to happen. Yeah. It's just too convenient to blame the old government.
Yeah.
Because then if that's an acceptable thing to do, then every political party can lie about what they're going to do and then just come in and go, oh, it's not us, it was the last government.
Yeah, but surely this, it's not as though, Labor walked in to an absolute clean house and then Labor's walked out to a clean house. There's got to be some governing policies that, regardless of who's in Parliament, country's got to run a certain way, so... Yeah, you can't keep blaming. Like, I agree, you can't.
Well, I mean, they do.
They do.
And it's up to the public to see the bullshit.
Yeah.
We've just got to hold their feet to the fire every time they try and come up with these really weak excuses. But, yeah, God.
It's hard work.
Started on politics, man.
Yeah, let's go back to my life. Not at all.
So, coming back to your life. So, you were here for quite a number of years, right? Like 12 or so years?
12, 13 years.
Yeah. Were you in real estate the whole time?
No. I held my license for a number of years, but I probably only really did real estate for probably 7 or 8, 9 years, probably 9 years max.
Yeah.
And then, I held the license for a number of years after that. But the core years were probably 2006 to... 2010 really. So I had a good 5-year run, and then circumstances changed and went to different industries. So but that was a time where I think Queenstown had already taken off. 99, I guess, that where it sort of started to shoot. And then sort of taken another cycle, and then I jumped on the back end of that, and it's an interesting place when Queenstown's booming. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll bet. So you ended up settling in Gore. You're happy there. Part of the community. Obviously, your kids go to school there. Yeah. So and you're happy being a Gore. What do they call it? A Gordonite?
Yeah, let's just not go there.
Yeah, cool.
let's not go with tags. But no, we are happy there because, I mean, for example, our 45 minutes, I'm in Frankton.
Yeah, right.
45 minutes, I'm in Invercargill. 2 hours, I'm in Dunedin. I'm so central. An hour and a half to town now. And where I need to be.
How close are you to Kaka Point?
Depending which way you go. I mean, you'd be
or Balclutha.
Bell's probably about 45 minutes from us.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So you're only another 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're only an hour. Again, an hour. And I love that coastline.
Yeah, good coastline.
Kaka Point.
Love it out there.
stunning and good. Apparently, I'm not into the sea fishing because I like warm water, but the power and fishing they reckon out there is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great. No, I've been diving around there, and there's plenty to get. So
good.
Yeah, I love it. I love all the coastline of the Southland.
Yeah.
It's fantastic from Catlins all the way around to Colac Bay.
I was going to say, yeah,
all of it.
Yeah.
So gonna sort of move things along a little bit further, and just going to talk about how or where we first met.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So to you guys out there, that all of you that are listening, I know there's a lot of you. So Mikey and I, we met on the set of a new TV show that's currently still filming. Right. So we are considered, according to Tracy, our agent, we are featured extras, and we are policemen. So we're the regular, reoccurring extras that are the policemen in the background. And what a fantastic job we do in the background.
If you know us, that's just hilarious.
Wow. So, now, first of all, I'll ask this question before we get into a little bit more depth, but how did you get into the whole extra TV show business? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, well, again, going back to Queenstown, like everyone in Queenstown, you've always got to have a side hustle.
Yeah.
And, one of mine, probably more towards the end of when we left, was to sign up to a modelling agency.
Modelling.
I know, and try and do like TV adverts or extra work or nothing. I know I actually had 2 or 3 opportunities, but due to work commitments, I wasn't able to do them.
Yeah.
And then, like literally 9 years later, there's an email in my inbox from Monarch Models, and it's about the show, and would you audition? And I was like, yeah. Yes, I will. And then, from there, it was like, right, we're on. And, how many shoots have we done?
I've lost count, mate.
It's been a few.
Probably about 10-ish, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Enough to almost make you, putting on the uniforms an inconvenience now.
Yeah, I know.
At the start, it was like, oh, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Now it's like, another day at work.
So I think... I'm not going to talk about mine, actually. I'll ask you about yours.
Yeah, right.
Did you find the whole work of extra being... Was it easy? Or was it trickier than you thought? Or was it, really, really stressful? Especially the first time you did it.
First time I did it, because it was the first time. So this set was the first set I'd been on. And, the whole set experience. But, first time, I guess there was a lot of nerves because... I had no idea what I was doing, although I'd done it a million times, walk that file from there to there.
Yeah.
But after that, and you talk about Rick, but every time you went back to set, you wanted to be a little bit better than you were last time.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen it, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
Is there's no stress walking in. You walk through that door now onto set, and it's
we switch on. We
know what we got to do.
Yeah,
we're going a little bit outside of what we're being asked to do.
Yeah.
I did the other day. It was gold. I won't tell you about it. You'll see it in the actual program.
Oh, cool.
It's not too bad. No. I guess to explain, we get to take files from one area of the office to another area of the office, and it doesn't generally go too far out of that. But this time I decided to ditch the file, and I just had a wee photocopier beside me. So I thought, printer, taking the paper out of the printer, putting it in the folder. Oh yeah, you'll see this, buddy. And then I walk off frame.
So I did that on my first shoot.
Oh, right.
They asked me to take the paper out of the photocopier, put it into a folder, and then walk away with it.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
The hardest stuff I've done so far as an extra has been on the first and the second times. Ever since then, all we do is walk with folders.
Yeah, now it's just
boxes,
funny.
And pretend that we're having conversations in the reception area.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dry when you really think about it. But you know what? this is like really heavy work for us. So we put a lot of effort into looking as plain and as ordinary as we can.
You do. Oh, we've spoken about it. You come back to like working in an office. We've done that. You've done that in your work career. I've done that in mine.
Yeah.
We know it inside out, right?
Yeah.
So you want to take that, but you kind of want to be a little bit, okay, so what offices? I'm a cop. Okay, there'll be certain things you do and you wouldn't do, and you kind of become a little bit invested into.
So tell me, what are your no-nos? What are the things that you've learned not to do?
Yeah, okay, so do not stare. Do not look into the director's monitor. That's a big one. I don't go into the actors' tents.
Yeah.
Because we're not actors.
Oh, yeah, they've got their own little area, and it's set up as a tent. So,
it's a world.
And it's cut off. It's like it's another world to the rest of us.
Yeah.
But no, I mean when you're acting.
Oh yes.
When you're acting, and you're asked to do something.
Yeah.
What are some no-nos? Can you think of any no-nos about what you would or wouldn't do?
Golden for me is don't look at the camera.
Don't look at camera. That's a good start.
Don't look at camera and just do what you're told to do.
Yeah, do what you're told. I'll tell you the thing that I had to dial myself back into. And it wasn't until I worked with one of the other guys that I saw him doing it, and I went, "Oh, that's what I've got to stop doing," and that's overacting.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, sorry, I was a bit slow on that one.
Yeah, when you're an extra, one thing you don't want to do is overact.
Yeah,
you don't want to throw your arms around. You don't want to like nod furiously. And do all this stuff because you're trying not to bring the attention to you.
Yeah.
But
I was watching a program last night. My Life is Murder. It's the Kiwi series.
I haven't seen it yet.
I laughed because you had a cop standing at a whiteboard looking at it, but she was waving her arms around like this, and I'm going, but you're looking at a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And again, it was like you're overacting it. All you had to do was probably go from there.
Yeah. Maybe and just have a little conversation. Don't nod furiously. You know, some people overdo the nodding and the shaking, and they throw their arms in the air. It's one of the keys that I found is that you just don't overact. You don't do anything that you wouldn't do in a real situation, and nobody acts like that in a real situation. But you've got to tell yourself.
I think I've been spoilt too. Obviously with the set that we're on, because it's a pretty cool set, but also that core cast, they've really looked after us as well.
They have,
and I've learned a lot because again, saying it was my first time, right? So I'm going, okay, right.
Are you surprised at how arrogant the actors are not?
Yep. Absolutely.
I have this misconception that people who have been on TV a lot, who are widely known to the New Zealand public, I just had this perception that they'd be like stuck up and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're so not that.
Haven't seen it.
Never seen it.
No.
Never seen it.
All just down to earth people doing a job that they enjoy to do.
Yeah.
But I guess too, if it goes back to like we want to. Although we're just carrying a folder or a file, we want to do that properly. So, are we getting a little bit more nicer treatment because we're showing more investment than what someone else would come in and just go, oh yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Mikey, that's true.
Of course, right? I do. I wanted you to say
that's true. We have been given enough
folders.
What's that?
Folders, files.
No, you and I have been given enough kudos to know that I think they see us as sort of...
They do like us.
The premium extras, if you like.
Yeah, we should be charging a little bit more, to be fair, but it's early days.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not in it for the money, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
It's the experience. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we've said, mate, the next one quite possibly won't be like this one.
No.
Be nice to think...
It'd
be great to think it'll be all the same, but
I
guess there's different stresses with big sets, little sets. I don't know whether this is a medium or a small. I mean,
I've got no idea.
I think I heard it was 80 people on set up to any one time. So
Well,
Not a bad.
for the short time I was on One Lane Bridge,
Right.
the setup looked very similar. So
Right.
they had a coffee cart, with a person that just made coffees for
Mm-hmm.
everyone anytime. There was like a food bench for snacks,
Yep.
and the crew didn't quite look as large as this crew on
Right.
this one, but there seemed to be a lot of people all around the filming, walking backwards and forwards, doing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
similar to this one where everyone seems to be busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a job to do. Even when you think they're walking around not doing something, they'll come back lugging a big light over their shoulder or their...
Yeah. What's your favourite parts about being on set?
Just the fact you're told to go from point A to point B.
And that's all you do the whole day.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no paperwork. There's no computer work.
We've got the easiest job, right?
It feels like the easiest job.
Oh, I think it's miles. It's a country mile easier than anything else that anybody else does.
Yeah, you do feel quite bad though, sitting there,
I know.
just flipping through your phone or
Yeah,
chewing on your
fucking
74th
around.
biscuit, and they're just running around like blue-ass flies, and
Or
you can't
or
help
they're-
them.
Or they're practicing their lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're actors who have got lines. They're like heavy into trying to get their character, get their practices
That's right.
We just sit there just waiting for that 10 seconds they need us for.
Yeah, just to fill in the background.
Yeah.
Love it. Don't like. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, cool, man.
Don't know.
So, so what do you think your future lies within this whole TV movie industry thing?
For me, just happy doing the extra work.
Yeah, I love it.
I like the ground level, and I like just being hopefully just being a good extra, adding some value where, maybe
Yeah.
it just needs a little bit of Mikey Zhuzh,
Yeah. I think it does. I think so. To the listeners out there, and I'm not going to blow our trumpets right now. This is just something that's actually happened. So we've gotten to a point where I think the crew and the actors feel so comfortable with me and Mikey as a team that they request us to turn up to shoots. So they'll actually specifically put out a request for me and Mikey to do a particular shoot. So we've got a shoot tomorrow at Luma in Queenstown, and that was at the request of the crew. They wanted Mikey and I to do that bit. So, I think we're doing something right.
I think so.
People are wanting us to go back and do what we do well again.
Season 2 will tell, I reckon. See if we get speaking lines. Season 2.
You reckon you're holding out for that speaking line, are you?
Season 2, yes. Yeah. Yes, boss. That'll be about as much as you're going to get.
Yeah. Or for me, it'll be Carl. And then that's it, walk away. Or I'll come back and go, I. Turn around and walk away.
Or your favourite is some amplification.
Have some ID there.
Oh, the joys of being a make-believe cop, eh?
That's our standard go-to action.
Yeah.
Do you have any ID? Thanks. So I'll be looking forward to seeing whether any of those actions make it into the final cuts.
Yeah, I saw you trying on the last day.
I'm doing it all the time.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll add it in tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
Not tonight, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
See it, yeah. Be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'll point at some of the Luma people there and go, excuse me, you've got some ID on you? Thank you. Anyway, so now I guess I'll move from this whole where we met and the movie set thing, and I'll move into kind of a next stage. Because you and I have vibe pretty well together as friends on set, and we have some great conversations about the most random of stuff.
Yeah, don't we?
And part of it was this podcast, right?
Yeah,
we started talking about this podcast, and we started talking about, you started talking about your personal situation that you have got a fair bit of time on your hands at the moment. So, so for the people listening out there, Mikey and I have made a decision to sort of to make the chew stuff a regular thing. So now that Tyke has moved to the North Island, yeah, it looks like Mikey's going to be my next right-hand man on the chew.
The fill-in guy.
Yeah, the fill-in guy. I prefer right-hand.
Okay, right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm your right hand.
Featured extra.
Featured extra. We could rename the whole thing Featured Extras. No.
I like the chew.
Yeah, it'll be a complete rebranding. I don't want to go through that. So yeah,
time.
Mikey Found will be the new co-chair on the chew, and give us some ideas about your other content that you're looking at doing as well.
Yeah, well, like this is sort of all come out of, just being on set really, and thinking, having that creative light turn on.
Yep.
And then thinking, I've always had that creative juice there, musician, and dabbled in sort of a little bit of home editing and
Nice.
doing little things like
Great.
wedding videos and things. And
I could do another editor.
oh, I love editing, love it. And then just thinking, like going up to the top of the Nevis and camping and filming the sunrise and adding the dog in and just trying to capture the magic of the moment and doing all sorts of things around different regions, doing coastal or coming up to Central Otago or heading over to the Terrace region and
Nice.
just providing some pretty cool content.
Filming some content.
Yeah, drone footage.
Footage.
I'm even wanting to get into a bit of sampling. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, good idea. Good
Interesting
idea.
world. So, you're doing my own sort of tracks.
Your own stuff as well?
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
Yep. So, no royalty-free music anymore. And
Great. We need more of that because
Yeah.
any commercial music I use gets flagged on YouTube, so
yeah,
I
it
can't
does.
use it.
Yeah, you've got to... Yeah, it's hard work too. Even Facebook, it's hard these days. So, yeah, I'm probably trying to explore that creative side and sort of pick up on some strings that I used to sort of pluck away on and see where it
Nice.
goes. So
Nice.
this will be interesting. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
be good to see where this goes. So,
Yeah.
we're going to put as much of Mikey's content on the Chew as well, on Shorts. Mikey, you've also created a TikTok account.
Yeah, that's
Yep, the
first.
genesis of something special, no doubt. So Mikey Found on TikTok.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow. And we'll throw some of your content on there too.
Yeah, cool. It'll be
Yeah.
great. It will be great, actually. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Looking forward to the...
Who knows what cool stuff we might have in store. Mikey might bubble to the top of the New Zealand Celebrity Stakes.
You never know.
And
I would
and
think
just
so.
remember, this is where it all started.
Yeah. Not anytime soon. But hey, you never know. Featured extra.
You never know.
Is there an award category?
No.
There must be, surely.
No.
It definitely would be a filmed part of the awards.
We should have an extras awards,
I
man.
think we should talk to
Yeah, because there's an Islander looking fella on the Dark City the Cleaner.
yeah.
Yeah, there's an Islander fella always wearing his police outfit, always wearing the cap. He was like the featured extra in every background.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. That wasn't Officer Mike, was it?
No.
No, different one. Okay.
No. He's an extra like
Yeah,
us. So
yeah.
he never had any lines. He didn't feature prominently. Yeah, he was always the background guy
always that
walking
guy.
around in the background.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Love
funny. Cool. So that's your future. It's looking pretty interesting. We're going to do a lot more work together. Now we're getting close to wrapping up. It's been a great chat.
It's been good, thank you. It's always good to yarn. I love a good yarn.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to work. 'Cause
Yeah.
we'll always have fucking some dumb shit to talk about.
Oh, segues. Lots of segues.
Don't get me started on Christopher Luxon. Anyway,
Yeah.
So next question for you, and before we wrap up. So I didn't prep you about this question. Maybe I did
Great.
ages ago, but certainly not today. I'm going to ask you one quick fire question,
Okay.
and we'll see if you've got a quick, ready to go answer.
Go.
If you could go back in time
Oh,
and give some advice
oh,
to 18-year-old Mikey, what would that advice be?
wow! Just one piece.
Just one
Piece of advice, or
main piece of advice.
Okay.
No, you can have multiple. All
okay.
good, man.
So is it like a sit-down meal opportunity, a couple of hours? Or?
Yeah. Eventually,
Yeah.
let's do a chew of just Mikey's advice to 18-year-old Mikey.
Yeah, there'd be quite a bit of it. If I could go back, what would I tell myself? Chase the dream. Chase the
the dream.
Yeah,
Just chase it.
Yeah, just give it a shot. You're young, you know. What's a couple of 3 years?
When you're our age, that's very much a thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck, what's 2 or 3 years?
I know, right?
But when you're like 18, 20, 2 or 3 years just seems like an eternity.
It's like, I don't want to waste that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I've got to do stuff. It's
Yeah.
like,
No, you're quite right.
Yeah.
So follow-up question for that. So is that advice because you felt like you didn't chase the dream at times?
I just think probably I just wandered, or I didn't have something really
chase.
driving me, you know. So I think if I'd locked into that that dream of being a musician or a session muso or something like that, could be a different place today. However, I'm happy with my place today. And always going back in time, as we've discussed, you will fuck with everything. So some days it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But look, absolutely. I think we're probably conditioned too much to not listen to your dream and chase the 9-to-5 job. And, hey, it's all important. But again, what's 2 to 3 years, when you're 18, 19?
Yeah. Yep. Great advice, man. So on that note, I think we've probably come to the end of this first session. This is just the first of many. So I want to give you a big thanks. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for sharing your story. It's been a great friendship so far. Really felt it easy. I felt our kind of friendships vibed really easily and quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to many more on the horizon, on the close horizon, on the distant horizon.
Yeah,
who knows what we might come up with?
Yeah.
I feel like something good may be coming.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Nō reira, e te iwi who are listening out there, if you have any questions for Mikey here, if you've got any comments to make, pop them down in the chat box below. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time on The Chew. Mā te wā.